I step out of my black Tesla and the Colorado autumn air smacks me right in the face. It's like the past just punched me. 5 years. 5 years since I walked out on this family with nothing but my code and a promise that still rings in my head. Watch me. The Prairie Hills Country Lodge looms ahead, marble entrance shining in the last bit of sun. Inside, 85 guests are toasting Grandma Eleanor's 85th birthday. They have no idea what's about to hit. My phone buzzes in my hand. Liam Cross, my COO. He never texts unless it's urgent. The AG's office confirmed. Eleanor's audit backs up their case. The warrant is live. This could all go down tonight. I grip my phone tighter. Attorney General. Warrant. Tonight. Those words should scare me, but honestly, I just feel this cold, sharp thing in my chest. Justice, maybe. Vindication, more like. I straighten my $3,000 Armani blazer, the charcoal fabric heavy on my shoulders. Feels like armor. The same family that called me a failure 5 years ago has no clue their big disappointment now runs a $250 million cybersecurity company. Watch me. I whisper it to the marble steps. My hands shake anyway. The memory hits hard, like always. That dinner 5 years ago. The Harlow family dining room, all mahogany and crystal, chandelier probably cost more than most people's cars. I was 26. Desperate. Still convinced I could win them over if I just tried harder. Playing with code isn't a career, Arya. Dad's voice full of that special blend of disappointment and disdain I knew by heart. Victor Harlow, real estate king, couldn't wrap his head around tech ever mattering. When are you going to get serious about your future? Mom set down her wine glass, perfect little clink. Why can't you be more like your sister? Serena Harlow. The comparison that always cut deepest, because it was meant to. Serena, golden child, leaned back in her chair with that smile I'd learned to dread. Actually, I might have something for Arya. My nonprofit needs an assistant. Part-time, of course. Assistant. Part-time. After 3 years building security software that companies actually bought. Mom's face lit up, like Serena had just offered her the cure for cancer. Serena always looks out for family. And in that moment, the weight of 26 years just crashed down. All the years as the family scapegoat, the one who couldn't measure up, the disappointment. I worked double shifts at 16 to pay for college. Serena's tuition, paid for, no questions asked. Years of, why can't you get straight A's like your sister? I built something out of nothing, and they called it playing. But then Mom said the thing that finally broke me. I just want to be proud of you, honey. Is that too much to ask? I am proud of you. 5 words I spent my whole life chasing. 5 words she never actually said. Not when I graduated summa cum laude. Not when my first client paid me 50 grand for a security audit. Her approval was my fatal flaw. I was the daughter pulling all-nighters for parents who only noticed mistakes. The teenager who ran herself ragged, trying to prove she deserved even half the investment they gave Serena. The young woman who believed that if I just worked hard enough, made enough, succeeded enough, they'd finally see me. But sitting at that table, watching Serena's smug grin and my parents' relief, because their golden child had fixed the Arya problem, I finally got it. The whole thing was rigged. Always had been. They needed me to fail so Serena could shine. They needed me small so they could feel big. Me desperate for approval so they could hand it out like a treat when I behaved. So I got up from that table. Dad looked stunned. Serena's smile slipped. Watch me, I said. 2 words that meant everything and nothing. Watch me what? Build something real? Prove them wrong? Succeed without them? All of it. None of it. I didn't know yet. I walked out that front door into the October night. Blocked their numbers. Sent their Christmas cards back unopened. Built Citadel security from a $1,000 laptop in my crappy studio, coding 18 hours a day on nothing but rage and stubbornness. For 5 years, I picked myself over their approval. It was both the scariest and most freeing choice I've ever made. Now here I am, standing outside the Prairie Hills Country Lodge, and that terrified 26-year-old version of me is still somewhere inside, whispering that I don't belong. That I'll never measure up. That walking through those doors will just prove them right. But she's wrong. I'm not the broken girl who walked out 5 years ago. I'm A.J. Harlow, CEO of Citadel Security. Forbes put me on their 35 under 35 list. My family never noticed, of course, because they never bothered to look. I protect critical infrastructure across 3 states. 58 people count on me to make the right calls. I'm not just fiddling with code anymore. I'm actually winning. The lodge doors swing open, and this older couple steps out, maybe late 70s. The woman's clutching pearls that probably cost more than my Tesla. They don't recognize me. Why would they? Last time Willow Creek Society saw me, I was the Harlow family failure. Tonight, that changes. My phone buzzes. Another text from Liam. You sure about this? I can handle everything from here. I almost smile. Liam Cross. First person who believed in me before I could prove anything. My CO. My friend. The brother I chose, not the one I got stuck with by blood. He's offered to let me skip this whole showdown, to shield me from the emotional wreckage waiting inside. But if I ran, I'd just prove them right. And I'm done running. I text him back, I've got this. Because I do. No matter what happens tonight, no matter what kind of family drama explodes, no matter what pain surfaces, I know who I am now. I know what I've built. My worth has nothing to do with people who couldn't spot talent if it debugged their entire network. The marble steps feel solid under my heels. The doorman gives me a respectful nod. Through the glass, I spot relatives I haven't seen in 5 years, dressed to impress, totally clueless that their world is about to get shaken. Grandma Eleanor's in there somewhere. She's the only family member who ever really saw me, and she's the reason I'm here tonight, walking back into this emotional minefield. She's also why I know I'll make it through. I reach for the door handle, and just for a second, I let myself feel everything. The fear, the anger, the hope, the grief. 5 years of silence ending in one evening. The family that broke me is about to meet the person I became because of it. The warning comes 3 days before Grandma Eleanor's party, hiding in my morning inbox like a digital grenade. Serena is planning something big for Grandma's party. She says she's going to expose the truth about you. Chloe's text stops my coffee halfway to my lips. I'm sitting in my Denver penthouse, 47 floors up over the city that gave me my life back, and suddenly I'm 26 again. Heart pounding. Palms sweaty. That old knot of dread tightening in my stomach. Expose what truth? I haven't said a word to any of them in 5 years. I went full ghost the day I left their dining room. What could Serena possibly know about my life now? I forward the message to Liam, no explanation needed. My COO gets family warfare better than most people understand their own jobs. He built his fortune escaping a toxic family in Boston. His reply comes back fast. On it, calling contacts now. This is why I pay Liam big money. Well, one reason. The other is that he's the only person I trust. Which says more about my family than his resume. 2 hours later, he's in my office with that look, the one I've learned to dread. The same look he had when he realized our biggest competitor was stealing our code. Professional concern barely hiding his anger. She hired investigators, he says, cutting right to it. Blackwood and Sterling out of Denver. Top tier, not cheap. My chest goes tight. What kind of investigators? The thorough kind. Julian Sterling, ex-FBI, 20 years experience. He specializes in financial forensics and background checks. Liam drops a manila folder on my desk. The good news? He's ethical. Won't fake evidence or break the law. And the bad? He's very, very good at finding what's there. I stare at the folder, not opening it. Inside, probably photos, financials, interviews, everything I've built, spread out for Serena's amusement. How much does she know? Liam's silence drags on too long. When he finally talks, his voice is gentle, but it lands heavy. She knows about A.J. Harlow. The room tilts. A.J. Harlow. My professional self. My gender-neutral armor in the tech world. My shield against anyone connecting Citadel Security's success to the Harlow family's failure. 5 years of keeping my distance, gone in an instant. She knows everything. Forbes list, the $250 million valuation, that I'm CEO now. His voice drops even lower. Arya, she's found it all out. I sink into the chair, the leather feels like it's swallowing me whole. This is way worse than I pictured. Serena didn't just find out I'm alive, she found out I made it big. While she was running her little nonprofit in Willow Creek, I was building an empire just an hour away. And there's more, because of course there is. Liam pulls out his phone and starts scrolling, his jaw tightening. Sterling's investigation didn't just dig into you, it dug into her, too. When he traced the payments for his retainer, he stumbled on something ugly in Serena's accounts. My stomach turns cold. What did he find? $475,000. Gone from her nonprofit over 3 years. Plus another $30,000 lifted from our family trust. Liam looks up at me. Sterling's got to report felony financial crimes to the Colorado Attorney General. No way around it. It hits me hard. Serena tried to hire someone to ruin me, and she ended up torching herself instead. The golden child, always nagging us about morals, is a criminal. The sister who got everything handed to her has been stealing from charities and family money. When does Sterling file the report? He's already filing it. This morning. Liam's face goes from worried to something colder. The Attorney General's office confirmed they're opening an investigation. She's looking at federal embezzlement charges. I should feel some sense of victory. Justice served, right? But all I feel is sick. I know what happens next. The Harlow family's perfect facade is about to collapse. Victor and Isabel Harlow, Willow Creek royalty, are about to find out their favorite daughters looking at 3 to 5 years in federal prison. Their precious foundation president is a thief. Their status? It's about to evaporate. And they'll blame me. Not because I turned Serena in, I had no idea about the missing money until, a minute ago? But because I'm always the scapegoat, always the troublemaker, the daughter whose existence just spells disaster. This is enough for the AG to act fast. They won't wait. Not even for Grandma's party. I picture it. Prairie Hills Country Lodge, 85 guests, Eleanor's 85th birthday. Serena at the mic, ready to tear into me, and then federal agents walk in. The scene almost makes me laugh, if it weren't so brutal. My phone rings. Unknown Colorado number, but the area code is Willow Creek. Should I pick up? Liam shakes his head. Don't answer unknown numbers during a family meltdown. It goes to voicemail. Then another call. And another. The news is spreading. Probably Serena, calling to rally the troops against me. She still doesn't know about the Attorney General. Liam almost smiles. She's planning her big attack, but she doesn't know the ground's already crumbled under her. My laptop pings a new email. Mom's address. First time I've heard from her in 5 years. Subject, family obligations. Arya, your father and I expect you at your grandmother's party. Whatever games you're playing with your sister need to stop immediately. Family comes first, not your hurt feelings. Grow up and take responsibility for your choices. We'll discuss your behavior privately after the celebration. Mother. I read it twice, then shut the laptop. They still don't get it. I mutter to the empty room. They think this is just sibling drama, that I'm the problem. Are you going? The question hangs there, thick as smoke after a fire. Am I really going to walk into that? Face the parents who never see anything but a disappointment when they look at me? Watch Serena get arrested in front of Grandma and half the town? Yes. Liam raises an eyebrow. You sure? I can handle everything from here. You don't have to put yourself through that circus. But I do. Not for payback or justice or even vindication. I need to walk in there because if I run again, I'll prove everything they ever said about me. That I'm weak. That I can't handle it. That I am the problem. 5 years ago, I left that house as a failure. If I go back now, it'll be as someone who made it on my own terms. Not for their approval, but for my own peace. I've spent 5 years building something real. They can keep their games. I tell Liam, I'm done hiding from the truth. Even if the truth rips their perfect family fantasy apart, even if justice shows up in handcuffs and arrest warrants, even if going home means watching everything fall apart, my phone just won't stop buzzing. Ever since the ambush yesterday, notifications keep piling up like digital trash from relatives I barely remember. Facebook posts from people I haven't seen in decades. The Harlow family WhatsApp group chat, somehow still clinging to my number. I scroll through all of it while my coffee turns cold in Citadel Security's executive conference room. There's Uncle Gregory's wife, posting some cryptic mess on Facebook. Cousin Chloe, sharing articles about family values, dropping not-so-subtle comments about loyalty. Serena's campaign leaves a trail of digital breadcrumbs, getting everyone ready for whatever bombshell she plans to drop at Grandma's party. Chloe's warning text from yesterday is starting to feel like a prophecy. Serena is calling everyone. She's saying she'll expose the truth about you at the party. The truth, like my sister would even recognize it if it bit her. Liam walks in carrying a stack of government contracts, $62 million worth. Protection systems for voting infrastructure in 3 states. Actual work. Stuff that matters. Stuff that keeps democracy running while my family gossips back in Willow Creek. It's escalating, I tell him, sliding my phone across the table. He reads the messages. His jaw clenches. Want me to have legal send a cease and desist? For what? Telling everyone their successful sister is hiding something? I lean back. She's too smart for anything we could actually nail her on. She's just planting doubts. But still, the unease creeps in. That old voice whispering maybe they're right about me. Maybe building a $250 million company doesn't make me worthy. Maybe I really am just some kid playing with code. My laptop pings. Email from Mom. Subject line, family responsibility. I stare at it for half a minute, then delete it unread. Not every conversation deserves oxygen. Liam settles into the chair. Attorney General's office confirmed they got Julian's report. No timeline yet. When, not if. That matters. Serena's crimes will catch up to her, but Grandma's party is in 2 days. 2 days for Serena to stir up whatever chaos she's dreaming up. My phone rings. Unknown Colorado number. I answer. Hello? Aria. Dad's voice. Gravelly, trying for authority but not quite pulling it off. I haven't heard from Victor Harlow in 5 years. He sounds smaller now. Less commanding. Age, maybe. Or maybe he's realized he doesn't scare the woman who built her own empire. About what? Your grandmother's party. Your mother thinks. I hear Mom's voice in the background, sharp as ever. We think it'd be best if you didn't attend. There it is. The punch in the chest. Even now, after everything I've built, they want me gone. Still the inconvenient daughter screwing up their perfect story. Because Serena says you're spreading rumors about her nonprofit. Says you're telling everyone it's in trouble. We don't need that kind of drama at Eleanor's celebration. Spreading lies. The projection is almost funny. I haven't said a word about Serena's shady finances to anyone. Not in person, not online. I've kept my mouth shut for 5 years while they spun whatever story they needed to sleep at night. I see. Believe what you want, Dad. I'll see you at the party. I hang up before he can answer. Liam watches me. You okay? They just uninvited me from my own grandmother's birthday party because Serena convinced them I'm some kind of criminal mastermind. I try to laugh, but it sounds empty. The system works sometimes, Liam says, quiet. But it doesn't feel like winning. It feels like sinking in quicksand while your own family throws rocks. My phone rings again. This time the number makes my heart skip. Grandma? Hello, sweetheart. Eleanor's voice, steady and clear, even at 85. I heard Victor called you. He uninvited me to your party. Victor doesn't get to uninvite people from my party. Neither does Serena, though she's been trying to convince me otherwise. Grandma's voice sharpens. Like I need advice from a criminal about guest lists. Criminal. It stings, especially from Eleanor. Not a guess, not an accusation, just straight up fact. You know about the investigation. Sweetheart, I started it. Time stops. Wait, what? 2 months ago, I ordered my own audit of Serena's nonprofit. Her finances always seemed off to me. New Mercedes, but she runs a charity? European trips, supposedly donor events? Please. I'm old, not clueless. My grandmother, sharp as ever, always watching the money while the rest of the family fell for Serena's Golden Child Act. The auditor turned up everything. Eleanor keeps going. The embezzlement, the fake expenses, the money siphoned from our own trust. When that PI came by last week with the same story, I handed him my audit. Made his job a breeze. Suddenly everything makes sense. Julian Sterling had 2 sources, his paper trail and Grandma's investigation. No wonder the Attorney General pounced. Why didn't you tell anyone? I ask. I wanted to see how far she'd go, how much she'd take, how many people she'd hurt before someone stopped her. Eleanor's voice carries 50 years of family history. Turns out, she was about to humiliate you in public while robbing the family in private. That's when I knew she'd crossed the line. I slump back in my chair, head spinning. I'm just worried if she gets arrested at the party, the shock for you. That it might kill me? Grandma actually laughs. Arya, I'm 85, not some fragile relic. I survived the Great Depression, 3 recessions, and your grandfather's midlife crisis. I can handle finding out my granddaughter stood up to a predator. Predator. Another word that lands like a punch. Besides, Eleanor says, Serena doesn't know I have copies of everything. Bank records, forged signatures, rerouted donations. She thinks she's got the upper hand, but I've been playing this game longer than she's been alive. For the first time in days, I really smile. I'll see you at the party, Grandma. I'm counting on it. Someone has to witness justice. When we hang up, the conference room feels impossibly quiet. I sit there, letting it all settle. Serena played her hand last night, tried to threaten Grandma to keep me quiet. She thought she had power. She had no idea Grandma was already 3 steps ahead. The golden child thinks she's protecting herself by threatening the matriarch, but the matriarch kicked this off in the first place. Liam's still pretending to read government contracts, but he's listening. Feel better? He asks. Serena doesn't even know she's lost yet. She will. I check the time. 24 hours till the party. 24 hours till the family finds out their golden child is a criminal and their scapegoat is a CEO. 24 hours till 5 years of silence finally end in one unforgettable night. My phone buzzes. Family group chat. Serena herself this time. Looking forward to seeing everyone tomorrow night. It's time some truths came to light. I nearly laugh. She has no idea how right she is. Outside, the sun sets over Denver, stretching shadows across Citadel Security's headquarters. 58 employees head home to families who appreciate them. $62 million in government contracts sit on my table, literally guarding democracy. This is what I built while my family gossiped about my failures. This is what I accomplished while they worshipped a fraud. Tomorrow night, they'll finally see the difference. But tonight, I'm getting ready for the most important party of my life. Not because I need their approval, those days are long gone. Some battles win themselves when you stop fighting. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is just show up and watch the truth unfold. The doors to the Prairie Hills Country Lodge ballroom swing open, all dramatic, like some movie, or, honestly, a family disaster. I step inside. 85 conversations die mid-sentence. Forks freeze. Wine glasses hover. Silence spreads like spilled ink. They expected broken. They're getting bulletproof. My Armani blazer fits like armor, charcoal gray, not the black they probably pictured for my own funeral. 5 years of therapy and $250 million in net worth will do that. I have something they can't even imagine, unshakable confidence. Across the room, Serena goes sheet white. She's at the head table, microphone in one manicured hand, clearly caught mid-plot. Her mouth opens, then snaps shut. She didn't expect this woman tonight. But it's Grandma Eleanor's smile that finally lets me breathe. She sits at the head table, owning the room the way she always has. There's a glint in her gray eyes, like she's got a secret, and she does. Same as me. Only the two of us here really know what's about to happen. I don't join a group, don't make an entrance. I just walk in and move through the crowd like I have every right to be here, because I do. Success taught me something. Confidence isn't about showing off. It's about knowing your own value and letting everyone else catch up. Cousin Chloe spots me first. She's pink with embarrassment and a little awe. Arya, wow. You look. She waves her hand at my clothes, my stance, whatever's changed about me. Different, I say, saving her. 5 years will do that. Uncle Gregory eyes me from his corner like he's looking at a ghost. He always thought I'd failed, and now here I am, dressed in $3,000 worth of proof that I didn't. I give him a polite nod. He nearly spits out his wine. Serena finally finds her voice. She taps the mic, twice, and the screech silences the room. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends. Her tone is all smooth, public speaking nonprofit lady. Tonight, we're not just celebrating Grandma Eleanor's 85th. We're also welcoming someone home. She lays it on thick. I lean against the wall, arms folded, and let her have her moment. Today, we welcome Aria home as a CEO. When she says CEO, it's like she's spitting glass. A few relatives shift in their seats. Dad's jaw clenches. Mom fingers her pearls, making sure they're still there. Serena switches gears faster than I thought she could. She ditches whatever data-driven attack she'd prepped and heads straight for the emotional jugular. But what's success worth if it's built on ingratitude? On leaving behind the family that loved you, that gave you everything? The room hums with agreement. Heads nod. The Harlow family always did love a little collective judgment. Success without family loyalty is just sophisticated selfishness. Her voice gets stronger as she feels the crowd backing her up. Some people think money makes them better than the people who sacrificed for them. I don't react. 5 years ago, that kind of speech would have broken me. Back then, I'd have tried to explain myself, desperate for their approval. But that version of me is long gone. She disappeared the night I left that dining room behind. Chloe leans in, whispering, "Is it true? You never called? Never sent a card?" I keep my voice low. "You'll understand everything soon." That shakes her more than any apology could. She expected guilt, maybe tears. Instead, she gets calm certainty, the kind you earn when you're busy building a company that keeps 3 states running, while your family gossips back in Willow Creek. Now Victor chimes in, picking up Serena's thread. "Some people think success excuses abandonment," he says, just loud enough for everyone to hear. But character isn't measured by bank accounts. The irony almost makes me laugh. Serena's circling, getting meaner. She can feel the mood changing. Her words don't hit like she expected. When family loyalty gets hard, when gratitude feels heavy, what kind of person picks pride over love? But now Uncle Gregory's frowning. Aunt Lydia's whispering to her husband. The tide isn't moving the way Serena wanted. In my mind, I hear my therapist's voice. Their opinion of me isn't my business. I remember my last session, Dr. Martinez asking, what would 26-year-old Aria do right now? Back then, I would have tried to defend myself, listed my achievements, begged for respect. Not anymore. Now I know you prove your worth through what you do, not what you say. The truth doesn't need a lawyer. So I stay put, arms crossed, letting Serena talk herself into a corner. Every nasty word says more about her than it does about me. Every bitter accusation just exposes their own fears. The air in the room shifts, people pick up on the difference. Serena's throwing accusations like daggers, her voice getting wilder, while I just stand there, steady, calm. I'm not the disaster they all expected to see. I'm not here to plead or to prove anything to anyone. I'm just here. Confident. Unmoved. Uncle Gregory leans toward his wife, muttering loud enough for everyone nearby to catch it. She doesn't look like a failure to me. Serena's rant builds, her words sharper than ever. Success built on abandoning family isn't success at all. It's just sophisticated betrayal. Then, right on cue, the ballroom doors swing open. 7:52 p.m. 2 detectives and an investigator from the Colorado Attorney General's office step inside with the kind of purposeful walk that slices right through any party buzz. Their badges catch the chandelier light as they scan the room. You can feel the air change. Every conversation dies. But this silence is different. Edged. Heavy. The lead detective doesn't even need the mic. His voice carries. "Miss Serena Harlow?" Every head swivels toward the head table. Serena's face strains of color so fast it's almost theatrical. "You are under arrest for embezzlement and fraud." The words land like a punch. Somewhere, a wine glass slips and shatters, crystal echoing on marble. I watch from the wall as they cuff the family's golden child, the click of metal slicing through the stunned gasps of 85 guests. And then Serena takes her walk of shame. Past Grandma Eleanor, who sits with the same calm dignity she's shown all night. Past relatives frozen in disbelief. Past parents whose world is collapsing right in front of them. And she passes me. Our eyes meet, just briefly. I see fear in her and anger and something I can't quite name. Maybe defeat. I don't smile. I don't gloat. I just stand there and watch justice do what it does. When the doors close behind the detectives, the whole room erupts. Victor and Isabel rush at me, voices tangled with panic. What did you do? How could you do this to your own sister? But Grandma Eleanor cuts through the chaos, her voice as clear as glass. Arya did nothing. The Attorney General's office did their job. The truth is finally being seen. You can feel the denial cracking. Relatives lean into each other, whispering, wait, if Arya didn't report this, then who did? That's when Liam Cross slips in through the side door, confirming what some of them are already guessing. I'm not the family failure anymore. I'm just the only one left still standing. The room buzzes, pockets of family huddling, voices low but hands flying. I stand near the dessert table, watching it all. The birthday cake sits untouched, 85 candles melted into little puddles on the buttercream. 20 minutes have crawled by since Serena left in handcuffs. 20 minutes since the world cracked open. I heard it was embezzlement, Aunt Lydia whispers to Uncle Gregory, trying to keep her voice down but failing. $475,000. Gregory shakes his head. From her own charity. Jesus Christ, LYD, we donated to that thing. Cousin Chloe comes over, pale. Arya, I'm so sorry. I had no idea when I warned you about Serena's plan. I touch her arm. Neither did I. Not the specifics, anyway. But that's not the whole truth. I knew something was off. The pieces started falling together before tonight, thanks to Julian Sterling's digging. The private investigator Serena hired to ruin me ended up unearthing more than my business wins. He found her crimes. Detective Hayes walks over, notepad out. Miss Harlow, I need to ask you about your sister's financial activities. I meet his eyes. I haven't spoken to Serena in 5 years. I don't know anything about her business. He asks, but you hired the investigator who found the embezzlement? No, I didn't, I say, and it feels weird to say it out loud. My sister hired Blackwood and Sterling to investigate me. Mr. Sterling found her crimes while he was working that case. Hayes nods, making a note. He was required to report it to us. Across the room, Dad's slumped against the wall, gray-faced. Mom's in a chair, clutching a tissue that's already falling apart. They look like people who've survived a hurricane, except this one's called consequences. Arya? Grandma Eleanor's voice pulls me back. She's still at the head table, birthday tiara slightly askew, looking sharper and more present than anyone else. Would you help me with something? I cross the room to her table, feeling every pair of eyes on me. Conversations die as I pass. 5 years ago, these people watched me walk out the door, convinced I was the family failure. Now, I can feel them seeing me differently. Sit with me, dear. Eleanor pats the chair next to her. I think it's time I shared something with everyone. She stands, a little shaky, but determined, and picks up the microphone Serena left behind. Her voice rings out, steady and clear. Friends, family. I know tonight's been a shock for many of you. But there's something important you all need to hear. She pauses and looks at Dad, her gaze unwavering. 2 months ago, I commissioned my own audit of Serena's nonprofit. Silence drops over the room. Even the waitstaff freeze. I've had my suspicions for a while. Serena was living way above what a nonprofit director should. That European vacation last spring, the one she said was paid for with a bonus? I started asking questions. So I hired forensic accountants to go through her books. Dad goes pale, the color draining from his face. Mother, what are you saying? I'm saying I found what Mr. Sterling found. Forged signatures on donation receipts. Fake expenses for events that never happened. Money taken from programs meant for at-risk kids. She's stronger now, anger sharpening her words. And $30,000 stolen from our family trust. Money that was supposed to pay for my medical care. The room gasps, a sharp collective breath. I speak up, my voice barely above a whisper but loud in the silence. Grandma Eleanor found the bank records. The trust paid for Serena's European vacation. Uncle Gregory's face goes red. You mean she stole from her own grandmother? Eleanor nods, calm and certain. All while calling the rest of us greedy and pretending to be the family's moral center. I watch as the truth hits everyone. For decades, they saw Serena as the golden child, the responsible one, the daughter who stayed close, took care of everyone. Learning she stole from the very people who adored her, it breaks something in them. You can see it. Mom finally speaks. Her voice sounds raw. How much? $475,000 from the charity, Detective Hayes says from the back. $30,000 from the family trust. Total restitution, $505,000. The number hangs in the air, heavy and final. Dad stares at the floor. We don't have that kind of money, he says quietly. Not in cash. We'd have to sell the house. I'm not sure what I feel. Not satisfaction. Not even vindication. Something smaller, sadder. The family that cared so much about appearances is about to lose everything that kept up the illusion. The big house, the country club, their place in Willow Creek. All of it built on a lie that just came crashing down. Victor. We need to talk. Detective Hayes steps up to my parents. The district attorney wants to discuss your daughter's case. My parents follow him, heads down. And for the first time in 5 years, I notice something new. Their disapproval doesn't sting anymore. Whether they like me or not, it just doesn't matter. I didn't get that freedom from success or money. Justice gave it to me. Aria. My cousin Chloe comes up, looking lost. I owe you an apology. We all do. 5 years ago, when you left, we thought you were being dramatic. Ungrateful. But after tonight, seeing what Serena really did, you don't need to apologize, I tell her, and I mean it. You believed what made sense with what you knew. But we should have looked deeper. We should have wondered why the successful daughter needed to tear down the struggling one. That hits home. Families like ours need a scapegoat. Someone to blame, so everyone else feels like the good guy. Grandma Eleanor takes the mic again. Before we end tonight, I want to say something about my granddaughter, Aria. My stomach knots. I still don't like being the center of attention, even if it's good attention. 5 years ago, she walked away from this family. Many of you judged her for it. But sometimes, walking away is the bravest thing you can do. She looks at me, her eyes shining. She built something incredible in that time, a business that protects people's digital security. Real work that makes the world safer. She pauses, blinking away tears. I'm proud of her. I should have said that years ago, when it mattered most. But I'm saying it now. Those are the words I've needed to hear for 31 years. Not from Mom. From someone who truly saw me. 3 hours later, I help Grandma Eleanor blow out her birthday candles. The party shrunk down to just family, the air heavy but somehow clearer, like after a storm. Out the ballroom windows, I watch the police cars drive off, the last evidence boxes loaded inside. Serena's heading to federal prison for 3 years. My parents get the next decade to start over, piece by piece, and me? I keep building my own life. As I walk Grandma Eleanor out to her ride, she gives my arm a squeeze. 6 months from now, dear. I bet you'll turn all this into something good. That's just who you are. She's not wrong. I'm already lining things up to buy Serena's defunct nonprofit for $1, planning to rebuild it as something real. The Harlow Digital Safety Initiative will actually help at-risk kids learn cybersecurity, turning disaster into something that matters. Justice, but with a hint of irony. I can't help but appreciate that. The morning sun pours through the floor-to-ceiling windows of Serena's old corner office. 18 months after that awful night at Prairie Hills Country Lodge, here I am, standing in the renovated headquarters. The Serena Harlow Foundation is gone. Now it's the Harlow Digital Safety Initiative. It's not lost on me, buying my sister's criminal mess for $1 and turning it into a place that actually protects kids online. 28 people now work at standing desks where Serena once plotted her scams. The energy here is real. People chat about cybersecurity classes, coding workshops, digital literacy for kids who might otherwise get left behind. Finally, the Harlow name means something good in Willow Creek. Something I built out of the wreckage. Ethan Reed, our program director, comes over with a tablet. We got 15 kids signed up for Saturday's workshop. 2 of them are from the Riverside Group home. The same place Serena always claimed she donated to, but the money never showed up. Now we actually show up. Perfect, I tell him. glancing at a group of teens through the conference room glass. They're debugging their first security program. Make sure Maya orders extra pizza. My phone buzzes with an email that makes me stop in my tracks. From Eleanor Harlow, Sunset Manor Assisted Living. Subject: Sunday dinner invitation. Sunday dinner. 6 years. It's been 6 years since anyone invited me to a family meal. And this? This is from Grandma Eleanor in her new place, not from my parents in their tiny apartment across town. Same cream cardstock, same careful handwriting. But everything's different now. The power's shifted. I read it twice, waiting for the old anxiety to kick in. It doesn't. Instead, I feel something lighter, like I actually get to choose. The invitation just offers no guilt, no strings. I reply without overthinking. Looking forward to it, Grandma. Should I bring anything? No fear. No second-guessing. No desperate urge to perform for approval. Just a granddaughter saying yes because she wants to. A memory surfaces, sharp and clear. 3 months into therapy. Dr. Martinez's office, gray walls, tissues always within reach. Tell me about approval, she said. I'd blurted it out. I spent 31 years chasing approval from people who'd never give it. Like feeding quarters into a busted vending machine, hitting buttons, getting nothing, but convincing myself the next coin would do it. Dr. Martinez nodded. What happens when you stop feeding the machine? You find one that works. That was the breakthrough. Realizing that chasing validation from toxic people wasn't loyalty, it was madness. It took months for the freedom to settle in, for me to believe I could build self-worth through what I do, not what my family thinks. But now, it's in my bones. I don't need their pride anymore, I whisper, alone in the office. I have my own. Liam's voice drifts in from the hall as he talks numbers with our newest hire. I made him president last month. Our work partnership has turned into a real, lifelong friendship, the kind I never thought I'd have. Citadel Security now works in 4 states, keeping critical infrastructure safe from cyber threats. My team of 28 helps kids stay safe online. Forbes noticed, which led to keynote invites about cybersecurity leadership. Last week, after my talk in Seattle, a fellow entrepreneur named Daniel asked me to dinner. Not to get something from me, but because he respected what it took to rebuild my family's reputation and protect my own boundaries. You're dating someone, Liam teased when he saw me smiling Monday morning. Maybe, I admitted, realizing this is what healthy attraction feels like. No need to prove myself. No worries about hidden motives. Just 2 people who respect each other and want to see where things go. My phone vibrates, Chloe again. She caught the local news segment about the digital safety initiative. Mom's proud, apparently. Aunt Lydia, who went radio silent for half a decade, finally admits maybe I wasn't the family screw-up. Even Uncle Gregory's company hired Citadel Security for cybersecurity, not out of family guilt, but because we respect each other's work now. 3 young women step into the lobby, notebooks hugged close like armor. They're here for the monthly mentorship session I started, specifically for women entrepreneurs tangled up in family drama. Last month, Sophia told us her parents called her bakery just a hobby that'll bankrupt you. This month, she's announcing her 2nd shop. I tell them, as we settle in, that success sets the best boundaries. Not because money means everything, but because results drown out endless explanations. They nod, that fierce kind of nod people give when they've spent years defending dreams to folks who never listen. I recognize it, used to look just like that at 26, starving for approval that would never come. Your family's opinions don't define your business, I remind them. They just show what your family's able to recognize. Some people miss the forest because they're too busy nitpicking the leaves. Sophia raises her hand. What if they're right about the risks? You do the work, I tell her. Research, plan, manage the risks. But don't let their fear cap your ambition. When they leave, determined and ready, I head to Sunset Manor for Grandma Eleanor's 86th birthday. 8 of us around the table in the assisted living dining room. Victor and Isabel skipped it, as usual. Serena's in her 2nd year of federal prison. Parole hearing isn't for another year and a half. Cousin Chloe slides the mashed potatoes over while Uncle Gregory's construction stories actually make Eleanor laugh. We talk about normal things, her book club at the facility, my latest government contract, the one protecting voting systems in 3 states. No drama, no eggshells, just adults enjoying each other's company. Tell me about the young man in Seattle, Eleanor asks, giving me a sly smile. Daniel. He's into renewable energy, and yes, he makes me laugh. Good, she says, laughter's important. No grilling me about his salary, his family, or his 5-year plan, just a grandmother who wants her granddaughter happy. On the drive home, Denver's skyline glows, Citadel Security's sign shining among the towers. I see 17 missed calls from a blocked number. Isabel, probably, still trying to guilt-trip me into family obligations that don't exist anymore. I delete them without a second thought, like any other spam. Then Liam texts, government just approved the $62 million contract. Congratulations, boss. That's $62 million to protect people's digital lives. Feels good, not just for the money, but because it means something. The mission matters. Turning my pain into protection for others matters. I pull into the garage and grab my journal from the glove box. The leather scuffed, pages full of truth from the last 2 years. 5 years ago, I left my family's house of failure. Tonight, I drove home successful, not because of the money, but because I stopped fighting battles that weren't worth it. Serena tried to ruin me and ended up wrecking herself. I won by becoming someone worth protecting. Family isn't just blood. It's the people who show up when everything falls apart. And sometimes, showing up means knowing when to walk away.